Okay. For those of you not familiar with southern Arizona, we get the monsoon rains coming in this time of year, and this is our first thunderstorm of the season. So it's wet and damp outside, but on the other hand, yeah, love that. But on the other hand, I managed to get some work done before the rain rolled in. So anyway, here's what I got so far. Now, I'm overall I'm happy with this. Although, looking at some of the other images that I found online, I think what I ended up doing was just shortening the pistol a bit. I mean, you could certainly make this an inch and a half, even 2 inches longer if you wanted to. Again, the main thing is make sure you get the proportions correct. Like I said, mine's a little short. Up in the top, but I think this is a little short as well. But overall, the proportions are correct. So generally, it's looking pretty good. And there you go. That's what I got. Now, what I did was these pieces that I cut out, showed you that were cut out in the last video. I took these outside, and I did knock the edges off of them there. And any of the exposed edges or edges I thought were going to be exposed, I took a Dremel tool with this bit in it, and that's just a polishing bit. It's a rounded polishing bit, and I use that to just smooth off all the knife marks. So it came out pretty smooth. Now I'm planning on using plastic dip to give this a base coat. I don't know if those would cover up those knife marks or not. Excuse me, the plastic dip would cover up those knife marks or not, but figure, it only takes a few minutes to do this, so let's go ahead and do it anyway. Now, the other thing I did this evening before the rain rolled in, I went outside and I sanded everything down. So with the power sander, just this thing right here, random orbit sander, and I got everything smooth, even. So when I'm ready to go when I was ready to go to the next step, and I was gluing on this stuff, I had a nice even air base to work with. Now I am going to have to go back. I'm going to have to touch up the front here just a little bit, and of course I'm going to have to cut this larger detail line right here. But overall, pretty happy with what we got so far. Now I am going to end up doing the same thing I did with the M8, and that's wrap it in craft foam. So all these exposed seams, again, all I was really interested in doing was evening everything out, making sure everything was even. I am going to use 2mm craft foam down here and some 5mm craft foam up here, and then, but that's another video. Getting way ahead of myself. So anyway, instead of using Gorilla Glue like I normally would, I went ahead and gave the contact cement a shot. And the good thing about the contact cement is that once you put it in, once you get your pieces mated up properly, nothing's going anywhere. The bad thing about the contact cement is that once you get the pieces mated up properly, nothing's going anywhere. What I ended up, well, anyway, let's go back and I'll show you what you got to do. The contact cement is pretty thick stuff, and it's gonna come in this brush right here that's already in the bottle, so you don't need to get a spare paintbrush or anything like that. Although you might want to get a craft stick or even a piece of spare styrene plastic or something like that, just so you can spread it on the area and keep a fairly thin coat. Now, I did take Evil Ted's advice. I put on I tried 2 thin coats on one side, and I tried 1 thick coat on the other side. Both ways worked fine. You just got to let the cement do its thing, set up for a few minutes. Then I put on the thinnest coat I could on the textured side of the foam, and that's on the other side of this. I did not sand it off or anything. The glue does not like spreading over this texture. It likes getting down in the divots and just hanging up there. So I used a lot more of the contact cement than I would have with the Gorilla Glue. The other thing that was going on with this is that as I was brushing it on, the thin coat at least, you could see it soaking into the foam. So a thick coat's probably might be the way to go. So it is not forgiving when you put it on here. So what you need to do is start at a corner. I highly recommend you use a craft stick or something else that doesn't have any kind of cement attached to it. You can actually lay that under there. While it might get a little tacky, what you can do, that's an emery board, but this is the basic idea. What you do is you lay it on there like that. You put your piece that's going in, you get one corner of that piece lined up, you push it down into place, then you just pull out the sticks as you move along, and that way, if you do make a small mistake, the foam is flexible enough that you can recover from those small mistakes. So that'll work out pretty good if you're careful. Now, I did take this emery board and used that down in here, so I got it looking pretty good. What I'm end up going to do is going back through here with the wood rasp and putting a bevel on the edges around this. If I'm feeling up to it, I don't know if I want to do that kind of detail work. On the other hand, I am going to have to take the wood rasp and go in there and get that raised bit out. Excuse me, get that raised bit out just so you can't, right there. Another little detail is this little raised ridge right here. And what's going to end up happening is I'm going to cut a piece of the 5mm craft foam just to bridge this little gap right here. Or alternately, I might build up the 2mm craft foam that I'm planning to put in place here. We'll see on that. So overall, there's the progress on the pistol so far. So far, I'm liking Evil Ted's ideas. Skip over his channel, take a look at some of the stuff he's doing, and you never know. You might see something interesting. You might learn something. Definitely more than you can learn from me, because I'm learning from him. But anyway, the pistol is coming along nicely, and the next step is going to be to build up these areas right here and get those taken care of. But like I said, that's another video. So with that, I'm going to go enjoy the rain. Good night.